anyone who knows me knows the one thing that literally thousands of people who know me, because I've had over 10,000 former students, knows that I love Coca-Cola. I don't own any Coke stock, never been an employee, but I'm a collector. The WHO has just come out with a recommendation that nobody should consume more than 40 milligrams of aspartame, which is a sweetener used in both Coke Zero and in Sprite Zero. And according to the Bloomberg article, these soda cans contain 200 milligrams per can. Now, I average between these two 10 cans per day. So let's do the math. They're saying I should only consume 40 milligrams per day. If this has 200 in it, that means I'm consuming 5 times the recommended daily allowance with just this can. Multiply that by 10 cans per day, so 5 times 10 means I am consuming 500 times the recommended daily allowance every day, and I've been doing this for 30 years. So, knowing that by WHO standards, I'm a walking cancer ticking time bomb, I have to approach this as an economist would and ask, what would the world be different if I were not drinking Coke Zero and Sprite Zero? And the alternatives are not that much better, because the drink I love most is grapefruit juice. But grapefruit juice contains a ridiculous amount of sugar in it. And so if I drank a whole lot more grapefruit juice, I would undoubtedly weigh much more than I do. And that comes with its own side effects. And so I'm skeptical of changing my habits until we know more science. Typically, I make my video, send it to Sandish in Nepal, and then as he's editing it, I fact check it. I make sure that every single fact that is said in the video is true. And that's what we did in this case. And I have to say, the most interesting fact check is that the Bloomberg article I cited said that these average 200 milligrams per can. They don't. Coke Zero is 87, Sprite Zero is 75. So Bloomberg more than twice overstated how much aspartame is in each of these. So I'm not doing 500 times the regular recommended daily allowance. I'm doing maybe 200 times. So I just got off a conversation with a friend of mine who he and I have been super close going back since junior high. And he has a distinction of being a medical doctor who also happens to have a PhD from the University of Iowa. So I call him Doctor. There's like just over 100 people on the entire planet who have that distinction from a very good medical school. So I asked him, as an economist, we look at trade-offs, opportunity costs. If I were not drinking Coke Zero and Sprite Zero, I would probably weigh well over 100 kilos, 230 pounds. I would be definitely weighing a whole lot more. So, do you, as a medical scientist, recommend that I cut down on my consumption of aspartame? As an economist, I'm like, I don't think that's the right idea, but I'm not a medical scientist. You are. And his response to me was, I actually agree with your analysis. For now, we don't have enough information to change what you're doing. Thank you, Aaron.